Welcome to the Great Noticing Podcast with Marianne and Emily.
The Great Noticing is about our awakening as people, professionals, parents, and leaders. Noticing empowers us to unravel the old narratives that dominated and defined us.
Noticing supports new patterns and celebrates behaviors that help us create and step into the life we desire. What are you noticing lately?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Great Noticing. So blessed to have an incredible guest in studio with me today, Myong Chong, the founder and owner of Hanna Isul Skincare and Med Spa. And Myong, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you today.
So delighted to be here.
Myong has been taking care of my skin for 4 or 5 years, and it's been such a journey for me of appreciating my skin, appreciating how I'm aging. And that's different, I think, for a lot of people to say something that you're really working on. And then there's a whole mind-body piece that you bring out, Myong, that I'm excited for people to get to hear about as well. But it's really a joy just to get to hear from you and hear more about your story and the founding of Hanna Isul and just the work that you want to do with women and men in the world. You know, these days, more and more men are encouraged and empowered to take care of their skin and their bodies, which is wonderful. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm delighted to be here.
It's like with your hairdresser, you have these intimate moments with people that other than when I'm laying on the table and you're helping me with my skin, we don't necessarily converse, but those times that we are together, we're talking about really important and personal things. So I feel like the bond is really strong. And so there are so many things that you notice about skin, about your clients, about everything that's going on in the world. So really, what are you noticing and what do you want to bring to the Great Noticing today?
So what I'm noticing is that self-esteem, the inner self, and then also what they are going through. And people need healing and rejuvenation. So how can I help them from, aging process or their skin issue if they have red, dry patches,
Rosacea?
rosacea, eczema, dermatitis, or acne, or some, few wrinkles around here and there that bothers them.
Yeah.
Then so I look at it very carefully and analyze and see what I can find the solution for them.
It's amazing. Well, and that's how I came to you, was a dermatitis on my face that I changed my eating habits and gotten away from. I knew I needed to do anti-inflammatory, dairy and gluten primarily, but also sugar, so many other chemicals. And so that's something we've worked on over the years. And Julie Kennedy, my health coach, has encouraged me from the gut health perspective. And then the last time I came in, you said, what are you eating? Because my forehead, I had several of the dermatitis bumps, and I didn't think I'd been eating anything, but you made me reflect on that. And I realized I was using a creamer because it was right before Thanksgiving. I'd gotten a pumpkin spice creamer that was nut pods, and it was natural, quote unquote, but it had erythritol. So had you not said that, I might still be drinking that today. You're saving lives, Myong, left and right. Yes, saved my Thanksgiving photos anyway, for sure. How often does that happen where you're able to point toward something somebody is eating or drinking or something in their lifestyle that's making a negative impact for them?
Yeah, so what you eat, what you are. So that skin is the largest organ of the body.
Yeah.
And it reflects what we eat, what we are thinking, what kind of habits we have. So
What we're thinking?
yeah,
The skin reflect. How does the
Yes.
skin reflect what? I mean, this
So
makes sense.
if you have a negative
Yeah.
instead of positive energy, the negative energy will darken your skin and you will look sad, depressed. People with a positive energy, they have a brighter skin, healthier, good circulation. So you could tell whether they are doing exercise or not, or they have a spiritual battles or, all that. It really shows, because the skin is largest organ of the body, that it shows health of your inner self, your spiritual life, and your lifestyle.
It makes so much sense because I think in Western medicine, we've really divorced. It's how we treat the body And it's almost like it's completely separate. Like we think of left brain and right brain, but really it's all integrated. And what goes in is what comes out.
Yes. What goes in, what comes out.
Ooh, whoa.
Mm.
How has that journey been for you over the years?
So over the years that I have given so much hope for the people. Because some people, they will come and their, doctor told them, well, you have a skin cancer or you have to go this, intensive treatment to treat your skin and this, that. And so they chose the natural way. And so now they are clear from their skin problems.
Wow.
So they come and cry, but they heal from the inside because they had such a fear and also financial burdens that they have to go through.
Man.
And so they don't, I have a client that doesn't mind driving hour and a half from where she is.
Oh, wow.
And her skin is completely healed and restored. So the joy that they get and the confidence, the self-esteem, and how they project the good positive energy.
Wow.
And start loving on, their life, themselves, and then love others.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line.
That's amazing. One of the things we've talked about this season a lot on The Great Noticing is when we are the thing blocking the good in our lives. And what a gift for you to be able to step in and be a conduit of do this good thing for yourself because you deserve it.
You deserve it.
And then you actually can do more in the world.
Yes. So my concept and philosophy is that we will create an image of God. God is beautiful.
Yeah.
And we reflect him and we are his temple. So we have to keep our temple clean.
Yeah.
And our skin, we take care of our skin and all that is part of ritual.
Yeah.
And it's the image of God should be beautiful, just like flowers or anything that God created is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Its word cannot comprehend that.
Yeah.
Same thing, what we go through. And the human is he loves us so much. Christmas season is coming. That our greatest gift is, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And
Sweet baby.
Yeah.
And that, I think we recognize babies and children as beautiful, and when does that stop? When I'm on the elevator, just like this morning, I'm on the elevator with a mom and a child, my tenderness toward that child and toward that mom is so much greater than if I'm standing there next to an adult. Why?
It's their purity, their innocence, their unpretentious.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I want to challenge that in myself. That adult that I'm standing next to in line at the grocery store, if you go to the grocery store anymore, which I rarely do, it's always ordering things online. That person is a child of God.
Yes.
But also is a sweet baby spirit inside that body that's gone through so many things.
Yes. So we still have to love them and, love on them. As God said, love your thy neighbors as yourself. So
that's very tender to me. It's just, and I think one of the things I'll work on with clients is when do you, if you have a negative self-image now, if you have a harsh inner critic, when did you feel tenderly towards yourself? Like, are you able to think about something that you would do for little Marianne or little Myong, that little Myong crawls up in your lap and you talk to her sweetly and there's something that you're trying to work through with little Myong? And I'll do that with clients and it seems so foreign to them, but it can be a gateway to developing more compassion for ourselves. And so it's making me think about what's the transition? When do we lose that ability to be gentle with ourselves? And I'm imagining it's probably middle and high school when we start to try to perform and conform and start to find ourselves not acceptable.
And then the hormones change, everything start changing.
Yes.
Your skin, you're getting acne and it's just a lot of things happening during that time. And then finding your own identity.
Yes, yes. And can we do that? Can we help kids? I keep going back to kids stuff because I'm, as a mom, that's where I am. But can we help kids? Can we help young people grow and continue to develop and achieve without being so hateful toward themselves?
It's really sad that all the SNS and what they are exposed to through the Facebook, and it's really sad. So it's parents' job that they have to guide them through,
Protect and nurture.
in what they should not do.
Yeah.
Well,
You're a mother of 5. How did you handle all that as your kids were growing up?
it was not easy.
Yeah.
However, I have a lot of help.
Mhm.
And also I pray a lot. I
Yeah.
have to pray a lot. And, God really helped me through the
Mm.
faith. I have to
Mhm.
walk by faith, not by sight.
That's right.
And that's the only way I made it through.
Yeah. And that things are, despite some of the things we see on the surface, there are things happening behind the scenes, guiding and protecting
Yes.
our kids. And I'm sure you saw miracles in that as your kids were growing up.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle. The human life is this miracle. Everyone is miracle.
That's truth. Can we embrace that more? So the trajectory of your life and your career. So you became an esthetician in the 80s, right?
Yes. In 1982.
1982. And then you founded Hanna Isul in 97. Is that right?
Yes.
And what made you want to get into skincare, into skin health?
Well, I grew up in South Korea and I came to the United States when I was 14. And of course, I had, beautiful porcelain skin.
Oh, yes.
And when I moved to United States, 14 years of age, that's when hormones start kicking in. Then I'm start eating, certain food that's not
in the American
healthy.
diet. Yeah. Yeah.
And I had very severe acne problems. And I tried everything, but it really did not help. So I remember, my grandmother used like rice water, soy, different natural remedies.
Natural.
So I say, I have to go to school and learn about this. So in Houston, we had a first international, aesthetic school that just began in 1982.
Oh, wow.
So then when I went
That's
to school,
amazing.
I've learned so much about the chemicals, so much how it can actually, certain chemicals can harm your skin rather than helping you.
Absolutely.
So, so I had that passion that I really want to help my skin and I wanted to help people.
Mm-hmm. You're reminding me of so often our path, and I think it's because of God's plan for us, but the path where we struggle and have difficulty in our path of healing is meant to heal the world.
Yes.
So
at the time, I was the top makeup artist, but, you have to have a pretty skin to have pretty makeup too. And when you have pretty skin, you really don't need that much makeup either. So it was like, wow, I gotta really help, helping people with the skincare.
Yeah.
And then also one of the partner that I worked with, actually, he had AIDS. And he would not tell anyone. And Rock Hudson died of the AIDS.
Yes.
And then we were in such a fear that, when somebody have cut, then you can get transmitted. So that was the information that we got.
Yeah.
So I prayed to God. I said, I got to make the solution where people would not, be exposed to that.
Right.
So that's where the recovery ointment is born.
Really? Oh my gosh.
And then so when you put the recovery ointment on your skin, which is the U.S. patent, and it's done all the clinical study at the UNT, just on Cambui, it seals the skin, it heals the skin, and it takes away the pain. And so that's the formula that we create, but it helps with the acne scars, rosacea, eczema, not only just the cut. Yeah.
So that's your go-to when somebody comes in with a particular skin issue. Is that the first thing you recommend is the recovery ointment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because everyone needs healing and rejuvenation from the sun damage, from burns, cut, any type of skin disorder.
I use that every day on my face in the morning. And then I've been using it. I told you I'd slammed my finger in my car door. And I've been using it on the nail, and the nail discoloration has been better. It's a miracle. It's definitely good for recovery in all the ways.
It's a miracle. And people have been using even on their horses and their animals, their pets. Yes, because, it's an all natural ingredient that helps at the cellular level.
Yeah. So I'm imagining there must be a part of you that really is a super creative person. Because I would look at something like the need for a recovery ointment and say, gosh, I hope somebody creates that. I don't think it would ever occur to me to do the research and learn all about it and invent something new. I've always said if it were up to me to create TV or radio, we would not have any communication devices at all because it's not in my head. What about your upbringing or your makeup or how you're made gave you the guts to say, I'm going to invent this?
It's just in me.
Yeah, you couldn't not do it.
It's in me, and God really helped me. I just have to give all the credit to Him. And then people surrounding you. And I have such a desire that people can heal and how they can have, wrinkle-free skin or how they can have the baby skin and how they can be healed from acne scars. So I have that passion because that's all I did all my life since 1982. And I never stopped.
So you're a healer.
So I help people to heal.
Such a big theme for you. I've experienced that. If everybody, listeners, if you haven't picked up on it by now, if you're not in Fort Worth, you can order Myong's products. They're incredible. But if you are in Fort Worth and you've not been to the med spa, please go. It is a place of healing. And I mentioned just the conversations that we've had. There are times you've been playing like instrumental praise music. You do the whole like pre-thing and then do the mask and leave for 20 minutes. And I'm crying probably half of that time just because I'm feeling the healing. I'm feeling the sense of rest. And I know you pray over your building and that people are feeling that.
So that building that we bought, it's a historical building.
Yeah.
And we pray over that building. And whoever walks in that door, I pray that it's chosen by God to send it to me to take care of that.
Wow.
So when they come, I want them to be healed. Whatever they're going through, I want them to be healed. So while I'm doing their facial, I pray. And then even the products when you use, actually we have a special aroma and special in every step of the way is that good morning, Holy Spirit, and good night, Holy Spirit. That's how you make the closure.
Wow.
And so it's all about Him.
It's amazing. I mean, you can feel that. And I think even, people who may not be people of faith, quote unquote, sense the healing power, right? That there's a connection to spirituality in your work, in your products and the things that you create. That's such a blessing.
So it's like this. When Eve was deceiving Adam, it destroyed the whole world into sinful world. But Mary was obedient to God. And even though her life was threat, as a virgin, she still got pregnant.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
Yeah.
What we are here as a woman, are we here to save the world or are we here to destroy? So there are two types of women in this world. So one is the destroyer and one is the...
That's amazing. Well, and my brain goes to what childhood trauma did the destroyer go through that set her on the path of not being a healing force? And, fortunately, most of the women that we know are in the work of healing and roles of healing with their families and their own lives and careers. There's the work you've been called to do in the world in healing. There's your Hanna Isul brand and the success that you've had. And then there are ways that you contribute through your foundation, right? What else is important to you?
So important to me is actually it's the soul. God say that each soul is more than this whole world. So one soul is more precious than the whole world.
Wow.
So it's the soul.
Is the skin the largest organ in the body? Is that a pathway to the soul or how might they be related?
So because we are the holy temple, we have to keep our body holy. So that means, no smoking, drinking, or putting in the toxicating our body.
Yeah.
And it's all related to the skin protects your body then as the largest organ of the body. And it reflects, the skin shows who you are. So you want to reflect that you are the image of God.
Yeah.
Has created. You want to have that glow. You want to have that healthy. And when you have pretty skin, you don't need to really dress up. You just throw a t-shirt and a jean and glowing skin, people will just admire that
That's right.
glow.
Yeah, that sounds
And
great.
so it makes the happy word. When you have a good skin,
Yeah.
people want to come talk to you.
That's
And so,
right.
wow, look at your skin. It's
Yes.
glowing.
Yeah.
and they want to know that secret.
That's right. And how beautiful when I can say to people, well, it's not just something I order online. It's not just the product. It's a person that's doing good in the world. And you need to know this person. That's such a gift. So thank you for being that
Thank you.
person
Thank
doing
you.
so much good. Now you've got US patents on products.
Yes.
What was that process like?
So I have U.S. patent on the foaming AHA formulation, which is a foaming cosmetic formulation. So this product helps for foaming the wrinkles and tightening the pores. And so we have to go through all the specific intensive research and the study. So we studied on the human skin tissue equivalent because I did not want to study on the animal. So we were the first company that studied on the human skin tissue equivalent, which was available at the UNT
Really?
with Dr. Robert Gracie and Dr. Dimitria.
Wow.
So that was such a blessing.
Absolutely.
Because I wanted to test all these ingredients and this quality and safety.
Yeah.
Because it's not something that you just invent for maybe 10 years, but it's for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
I want this to be good for everyone. So I went through all that. And then we have to apply through the patent attorney. And then patent attorney have to submit to the United States Patent Office that's governed by the federal. And then they have many examiners, the doctors. So this has to be like out of, 100,000s of the formula.
Yeah.
It has to be unique.
Wow.
And so we have the vitamin A, C, E, and very unique formula that penetrates it. So,
Wow.
and then we have a patent on recovery ointment, which is a healing and rejuvenating formula that helps with any skin condition that you are going through difficulty and need healing and rejuvenating. This will take care of it, from the sun damage to cuts, burns, whatever you are facing.
It's amazing. And I know you say your products are transdermal. What does that mean?
So transdermal delivery that we discovered doing the human skin tissue equivalent testing with the vitro tube.
Yeah.
And when we done that, it show how it delivered to the skin to the deepest layer.
Oh, okay.
Which is epidermis.
Okay.
So, it's not necessary for you to have an injection or any of that, but this will help penetrate those small molecules into the skin to help.
Yeah. Hey, noticers, it's a new year. Why not start it with your best skin yet? If you've never experienced the magic of Hanna Isul Korean skincare, you are missing out. Myong Chong has been working her skincare magic for 27 years, creating what's now famously called the Hanna Isul Glow. I've been seeing her for years, and let me tell you, the results are real. My skin feels smoother, brighter, and just better. Her products are packed with medical-grade ingredients that take your glow to the next level. So if your skincare routine could use a reboot, or you just want to feel incredible in your own skin, visit hannaisul.com. That's HANNAISUL.com and see what the hype is all about. Be sure and visit Myong really soon. Trust me, your skin will thank you, and so will future you. And is that a part of the patent, or is that the formulation as the patent?
Formulation.
Okay. Well, you can tell a difference. And I know people who've said your serums have transformed their skin, and now they're stem cell.
Yes.
So what's your journey been on that in developing stem cells?
So stem cell, when I went to Singapore, Dr. Lim, he done some, we had the Siamese, the children that had together.
Yeah.
So he was one of 4 surgeons that done that surgery.
Cook, right? At Cook Children's.
Then so I have, they opened the med spa, Hanna Isul med spa in Singapore.
Oh, okay.
And so Dr. Lim, what they realized was that it's so important for them to have the proper products to help them.
Their skin heal.
Yeah, skin heal. And so, it's very important.
Yeah. So is that a market that you've developed or want to develop, is post-surgery skincare?
So we did post-surgery skincare, laser, and med spa concept. And so I've been training the physicians in Japan and Singapore and also, in the United States.
Yeah. Is it harder in the US because we trust big pharma so much more? Pharmaceuticals,
Actually, a lot of, dermatologists use the pharmaceutical
Yeah,
products.
right.
And it's a big, company.
Yeah, yeah. When you want to build business or when you want to offer, let's say you met a physician, either at a business engagement or even somewhere socially, how open are most United States physicians to talking about your products versus traditional brands or pharma?
Right now, we had a really good doctor in Beverly Hills done his own research with our product.
Yeah.
Then he noticed how it's transforming their patient's skin.
Wow.
So then that's how they ordered that. And he has written a book.
Really?
And it's in his book too.
Oh my goodness. Has that been a source of business growth? And can you duplicate that with other physicians?
Yes, we can do that. But I have been so busy. We have 5 children. So one time, we got so much order that I couldn't go home.
Oh, wow.
Then I was like, why did I invent this?
Because the people need it, Myong.
I know, but my children need me.
Yeah.
So I feel so guilty.
Yeah.
Then the contract went over. I didn't sign it.
Didn't renew.
Yeah. So I just did it, something in Fort Worth. I said,
Yeah.
I just want to help my clients.
Yeah.
Or,
Wow. That's actually very rare. From where I sit as an entrepreneur trying to grow my business, trying to get deals like that, I'm like, holy smokes, would I be able to make that decision to say, I'm going to slow down and prioritize things outside my business?
my children needed me.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old were they at the time?
So we have my son, he was about 15. So, they're going through the teenage time.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's intense. And it's about together.
Yeah.
It's like quality and quantity.
Yes. Yes. So now I'm ready. I'm ready to expand my business.
Okay.
So we'll do more. But,
Yeah.
So the stem cell technology, I kind of went side off, is that Dr. Lim introduced the stem cell in Singapore, but they only had an embroiled stem cell.
Oh.
And I say, no, I don't want to do that.
Right.
And so I waited, and then now they have a stem cell with, the fruits, veggie stem cell. So I waited.
So you do not use embryo stem cell. Okay.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. How long of a wait was that? Several years or?
Actually, not only waited a long time, but then when I first formulated, it did not come out as, it was not successful.
Oh, really?
So I have to keep trying. So it took us about 7 years.
Wow.
So but now we have that Avera done.
Yes. It's incredible.
And then that, 3070, the collagen boost, which helps boost the collagen.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very happy about that.
Knowing that you step into a journey like that, and it might be 7 years, 10 years of formulation and trial and error, how do you keep your spirit strong and not get discouraged?
Well, some days, you get anxious. Yeah. However, I know that at the end, it will all come out good. So, you just live day to day by faith.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. When you're working on a formulation, what is that like? Do you go into the lab? Do you have a lab at home? What's the process like?
Okay, so at the beginning, I first did it in, my kitchen. But then we went to lab, and then we also, UNT have a lab.
Yeah.
So with the Dr. Robert Gracie, I would go to his lab.
Wow.
And then away from, the family and just kind of quiet time with him. And then work with the scientists.
That's incredible. What was that first phone call to them like? Like, hi, my name's Myong, and I have a product that I want to create in your labs. Like, how does that introduction
Actually,
happen?
the introduction came through my client.
Really?
She is the Dr. She's the Dr. Gracie's wife, and
Oh,
she's a
okay.
doctor too.
Oh, wow.
And I've been treating her skin.
Mhm.
And then one day, Dr. Robert Gracie burned his finger,
Oh, wow.
cooking pasta for
Oh,
her.
uh-huh.
And he grabbed the hot pot.
That's so sweet that he was cooking for her, though.
Yes, isn't that so sweet? So then he burned his hand, and his wife said, "Go put recovery ointment."
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he put it on.
Mhm.
And then 2 hours later, his wife asked him, "How's your
How's your
hand?"
hand? Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh my!" And he worked for the Burn Center, Johnson and Johnson, and all these huge pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah.
He's an advisor and he's a researcher.
Wow.
And he's like, called me on. And there was another doctor.
Uh-huh.
They were, dermatologists, top dermatologists in town. And they called me to UNT and say, Myong, we got to do this more research. And actually, I got offered to do some research with Alcon at the first, but they wanted to do on the guinea pig. So I say, no, I'm not interested in doing that. And then Dr. Robert, Gracie called me up and I say, I will not do guinea pig research. And he said, I have a human skin tissue equivalent. Wow. So why don't I do that? So he's done the research on human skin tissue equivalent.
It's amazing.
And he got his patent.
Wow.
And then I got my patent on my formula.
That's incredible. Oh, what a partnership.
It's just God opened the path and then the doors. And
again,
Step
through
by
healing,
step.
through
Through
actually
healing.
somebody being healed.
Yes. And he did not have any, pain. The minute he, when you get burned,
How the heck?
it's so hurt.
Yeah.
And then you get blisters
yeah.
and then all that pain.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't even feel. And then it went away. Like, what happened?
Wow.
So we experienced that a lot. We have so much testimonial, and we have probably sold more than 100,000 pieces of recovery equipment.
Wow. I believe it. Because there's not any side effects. It's just health.
Yeah, it's health.
Wow.
Yeah, people will use it anywhere for that.
Yeah. That's amazing. I used it and it worked. That testimonial, especially by somebody in his position with his expertise, is just so powerful. And you want to get it in more hands.
Yeah.
Right.
And Dr. Robert Gracie, he is just anti-aging specialist for more than 45 years.
Yeah.
He's just like top notch. And
Amazing.
he's done so many wonderful things for this world. And I have so much, respect and honor for him.
Does he come to you now with his skin?
Actually, he's in San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
And so his wife still orders the product.
Yeah.
So they both are using it. And they are the one that use the recovery ointment on they have a greyhound
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
And it had what do you call where they lost the hair in the circle?
Oh, yeah.
And they took so many places. And then his wife said, let's try it. Why don't I use recovery ointment? And then it healed the dog.
Oh, my God.
Then actually there was a bird in Spain. It's a very rare bird. Yeah. And it got injured.
Oh.
So she called me, Myong, would you mind sending recovery ointment to Spain?
Oh, my God.
So I did, and then the bird got healed.
Oh, my gosh, Myong. Wow.
Yeah.
Is it in a zoo or where's the bird?
The bird, I didn't ask.
Okay.
I'm so busy, and I'm glad that the bird is healed.
Yes, exactly.
That's all I care.
I don't even care where the bird is.
Yeah, the bird is spared. So.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
How much of your business is domestic, U.S. based versus global?
Actually, right now it's all U.S. based.
Okay.
Because with my children, and I'm doing the community service. Yeah, I've been serving community service since 2013.
Yeah.
So
tell us about that, what you do for community service.
So I am Korean American. So I was elected to be the Korean Association president for the Fort Worth.
Oh, wow.
Then later I got elected to be the president for the 5 states.
Okay.
And then now I'm the national president.
Wow.
So we pretty much help people, the legal immigrants, immigration people that come to United States, their needs and also the communities.
Yeah.
And so it's devotion to humanitarian.
That's amazing. What's unique about the Korean American community?
So Korean American communities, basically majorities, they are Christians. They all go to church. They are very focused on education and then family value.
Yeah.
However, they don't really come out with the mainstream. So I am trying to help them to come out and mainstream with, people here.
Yeah.
And so they can exchange the culture and they are, exchanging the good things together. So I'm doing the bridge work for
That's
them.
wonderful. What does that look like? So it sounds like what you're saying, Korean Americans tend to be more kind of insular and stay with other Korean Americans.
Yes.
And so where are the opportunities then to be more part of the community? Where do you see that?
So then what we do is that like we'll do the cultural events, or when they have the, like homeless people need help, they need a nursing home.
Yeah, we're
people
talking
visit
about
that.
homes.
And then they do a lot of mission work.
Okay.
A lot of mission work globally and
Yeah.
within the United States
Yeah.
too. So they really focusing on that. And however, they are not involved with the like a political, like a voting and things like that. So
Right.
they just do church and they do the business and they are very hardworking people.
Yeah.
And they just stay very quiet.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to bring them out and, just, come out to vote.
Yeah.
Because they have the voice too.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
So that's what I'm working on.
So it sounds like more community engagement through service in a lot of ways, which is such a beautiful way to do that. Are more of the kids in public schools or private schools locally here in Fort Worth?
So a lot of right now is the third demographic.
Oh, third
But-
largest?
The largest.
Wow.
I'm going to show you in this school.
Okay.
It's Tessa and Fafa.
Mm-hmm.
It's a TCAA, and I am board of directors.
Oh, wow.
And so we are trying to help, the diversity, because we really value the education.
Absolutely.
The value of education.
Such a
That's
pathway.
the key to success for their future.
That's right.
The future leaders. So, for instance, like Tessa and Fafa, they have a wonderful programs
For arts, right?
for arts,
Yeah.
and not only arts, but they, are advocating for this concept of private school, but it's not private school.
Right.
It's a charter school.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it's a very, very good school that was, founded by the long time ago, and the Texas choir. Choir
that's right.
so
That's right.
significant in this community.
That's right.
So
Wonderful history.
so they have like a third demographic is the Korean American.
Wow.
About 6 years they were really growing, and then some of them really left because of the but now they are start coming.
Okay. It's growing again.
Yeah.
Good. Good. So you're on the board of directors for that.
Yes.
And there's a focus on really helping Korean Americans locally and then across the U.S., it sounds like, engage more deeply. Not necessarily politically is fine,
Right.
but in building a relationship and talking about what Korean Americans bring to the table.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they can, have a good friendship and introducing their food, which is so healthy, and then exchanging. And so everyone can benefit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, and you mentioned when you came to the U.S. as a teenager, the differences in the food supply,
Yes.
right, between South Korea and the
Yes.
U.S. How did we get here in the United States where our food supply, it has so many chemicals? Anything goes. Most of us haven't been aware of it. And so then we end up coming to you, my skin, my skin. What do you think about how we got where we are?
So I believe that's the FDA. And also the mass producing food and quick fix, microwave food. So we are just going and produce.
Yeah.
However, we need some, slow cooking. We need natural food, something that can benefit health. But now I think they are producing a lot of good food.
Yes, it is much better.
It's getting so much better. So I'm very happy about that.
You bring up, I was having this conversation yesterday with a group doing a leadership session with them. The things that we do so well, or the things that are our strengths or superpowers, are so often not our undoing, but so often things that can cause harm. And in this case, are in the United States, push to be more better, our push toward achievement. Our push towards speed. It's made us the wealthiest, one of the wealthiest countries, right? It also has this downside of not taking care of ourselves, of, I think, honestly, trusting big businesses to make right decisions, where the FDA would say, well, running a large business is good value, and therefore we're going to trust what you produce rather than trust and verify. And so hopefully now we are correcting more of that.
Yes, so we cannot be greedy. So we have very strong foundation in the United States.
Yes, we do.
Beautiful, so many people contribute. So we have greatest school, greatest museum, and actually greatest land too.
Yeah.
And so many good things. So we can change it now for better.
That's right.
And which they have done continuously.
Good reminder.
Yeah. So I'm very proud of being, Korean American.
That's amazing. We've been in the process. Yeah. We had this conversation with another executive coach, Eric Nerlich, earlier in the season about the wonderful things about the U.S. and the wonderful things about European culture and other cultures that aren't as materialistic as we are, and as we have kids, wanting our kids to achieve and go to great schools and have jobs and accumulate wealth, and then also wanting them not to live the materialistic lifestyle and not to work themselves into an early grave. All these, it's this juxtaposition of really appreciating so many of the wonderful things about our culture, and then also reminding ourselves not to be greedy. That's so much of it comes down to that. Slow down and appreciate more.
Yes, and time for yourself. And then it's very important that people make right choices. Life is all about choices.
Yeah.
And some people, they save all that money for retirement. 90% goes straight to the hospital. And then they may end up leaving debts. So it's so important that we educate our children about their eating habits, lifestyle, the things that we do.
That's right. That's right. Well, even Myong, as we talk, like your pace of the way that you speak, I think reflects the softness, the focus on healing, the way you approach life. It's different from what you see in a business setting, and it's so important and so needed. But here you are, a business person, right? And a scientist, basically, and the things that you've created. And it's a wonderful reminder that we can move forward, we can progress, we can serve, and still do it in a way that honors our humanity, our spirit, honors our families, observes the times in our lives. I think this really speaks to me too. The times in our lives that are for toil, and the times in our lives that we need to slow down and do things for our spirit, for our families, and make tough choices. It's amazing.
Respect, honor, and love.
Beautiful.
Love.
Yeah. And those, if I remember, are some of the principles of your foundation. Yeah.
Yes.
What are the goals that you have for the Myeongchung Foundation?
So Myeongchung Foundation, we have been helping distributing some of the Bible distributions, and then also giving scholarships to the people that wants to have a good education.
Yeah.
So we give scholarships.
It's amazing.
However, I couldn't do that as much as I did in the past because I'm serving so much to Federation of the Korean American Association. So I put a lot of my time there.
Yeah.
And so,
So that might be another focus again in the future. Yeah.
So I need to just really, how you have a season of life.
Yes.
So you have this season and then season. And so I will be in a different season from now on. So I will focusing on that.
It's beautiful. I love it. You've made such a difference in my life and so many people. So thank you for the work that you do. It's joy. And it's really been lovely to have you on the podcast. And thank you, everyone, so much for joining us at The Great Noticing. Our conversation today just was so interwoven with noticing and getting to hear about your work. So that's really powerful. Everyone, please check out Myong Chong's products at Hanna Isul Korean Skincare. Go to the med spa. I promise you will just be absolutely thrilled with the experience and your results. And let us know what you think about this episode, about the products, about other episodes. Please like and share, and we'll look forward to seeing you again on The Great Noticing. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Great Noticing podcast. Don't forget to rate and review us on your favorite podcast platform. And for more information and to keep up with Marianne and Emily, visit thegreatnoticingpodcast.com. And remember, what are you noticing lately?